campaign. And we're very happy that all of you could join us today. We're looking forward to hearing from some of our organizers on the state level, and also from George Hacker, who's with CSPI's Health Promotion Department, and from Claire Sadagaza, who's from Share Our Strength, which is a program of Feeding America. So, but first we're going to hear a national update from Campaign Manager Lilia Smelkova. Lilia, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Catherine. So I have just come back from the National Farm to School Conference this weekend, and we had a networking session before the conference started on Friday. And what happened surprised me a lot. Of all the people who came to the conference, I haven't heard of any event that we're planning, and I didn't know that. And that made me just stay there speechless, because last year at the same time when we were planning the first food day, we knew every and each organizer. And we knew who was planning what. We knew the hundreds of events by heart. And that made me think that probably the message went out far and broader than probably we ourselves as organizers would have hoped, because we had amazing people at the networking session of the Farm to School Conference. There, Nutrition Services Director of the Detroit Public Schools, the Nutrition Services Director of Cambridge Schools in Massachusetts, food service management companies, teachers, county extension directors, and they were all using Food Day and planning events, and they're sharing wonderful stories. So that was very inspiring, because it made me think that we have many more events planned that we actually know here in the office, and that the Food Day message of healthy, sustainable, affordable, and fair is really growing within the food movement around the country. And you know that we have many national partners, and here's just a sample of the groups that came on board last year. And it's amazing that every week we have more and more national groups and more people joining. So here you see the Real Food Challenge. They are our lead on campuses, Earth Day Network, Slow Food USA, Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution National Week, APHA, and we've got also several new national partners joining during the last couple of weeks. National Parents Teachers Association, Organic Trade Association, USPIRG, Restaurant Opportunities United, the Down Discofia International, and National Association of Nutrition Professionals. And on the state and local level, we did a lot of work to meet with the organizers and also to see how Food Day can fit with whatever is already planned. And you'll hear later from all our team. This is their last but one webinar before Food Day itself, so we decided to have a 1-minute presentation from everyone of the Food Day team, and you might be working with many of them, and we wanted to present the people who have been working behind the scenes on making Food Day happen this year. So this is our new website, and it is heavily integrated with the social media, and I'd like to stop a couple of minutes and talk about it. It has a map where you can go and register events and use it as a tool to invite attendees to your events, and also to send them the reminders, to collect RSVPs, and so on. It has a blog on the homepage, and we invite you to submit blog posts. The reason we put the blog up is to share the great things that are happening around the country within the food movement, connected with Food Day or not connected with Food Day. So please write to Food Day at CSPI.net if you're interested to submit a blog post for our homepage about, and to share about what you are doing. These are some of their almost 90 events registered on the map. And you can see that there is a Twitter feed. You can sign in on their website through Facebook or through Twitter, and easily share it through your network. And these are just some numbers. We have more than 100 of volunteer coordinators around the country, and you can find the list on the website. We are really grateful to the people who are leading Food Day in their communities. We had more than 30 city planning meetings throughout the years, throughout the months, and the last one coming up in a couple of weeks is Philadelphia. And we had regional and state planning webinars, and we are still organizing them for their communities or cities interested in just jumping on the call and discussing Food Day plans. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, at this point, I think, of events being planned. And I'll be on the call, so if you have any questions, ask me during Q&A session. And the way we decided to organize our webinars is to have 2 updates every time from national groups working on national issues. And you will hear from George Hecker here at CSPI, who works on sugar-sweetened beverages campaign, and from Claire from Share Our Strength about Shopping Matters tours. And we think it's a fantastic opportunity for their Food Day organizers to use their tools that they have put together to organize a tour around the country. And after their state updates from our local organizers, as I said, we'll present you our Food Day team. So I pass the word now to George Hecker, and he will talk about Dump Soda on Food Day initiative.
I'll be with you just in a second. Here. Okay, here we go. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you, Aurelia and Catherine, for giving us this opportunity. As many of you might know, CSPI has been very involved in opposing the expansion of sugary drinks, and in fact working to reduce the consumption of sugary drinks in this country. And we think that Food Day will be a wonderful opportunity to shine a spotlight on the non-food characteristics and the dangers related to sugary drinks, as well as build upon an important new campaign that we will be launching within the next probably 5 or 6 weeks. And the timing of Food Day, therefore, is very good to expand that campaign, and I think it will provide you with an excellent opportunity to make a very strong statement in your communities about the need to reduce sugary drink consumption. So we're talking about a campaign effort that focuses in part on changing public attitudes about soda, stimulating policy changes in communities all over the country, as well as expanding the viral impact of the provocative video that will be launched sometime next month, which has a pour one out theme to it, which we will encourage you to build upon. So with that, I want to give just a little bit of background. When we're talking about sugary drinks, we're not only talking about the non-diet carbonated beverages and sodas, but a lot of these others, the fruit aids, sports drinks, flavored waters, energy drinks, sweetened teas. And we would like to encourage you to be creative in addressing one or more of these different categories of sugary drinks. In particular, today the sports drinks and the energy drinks have been increasing dramatically in consumption as the regular carbonated soda consumption has been coming down, and those drinks are being heavily marketed to young people, and quite deceptively, in that they're not really needed for their sports and athletic benefits, by most people who are involved in any kind of athletic activity, only those who are really involved in heavy-duty sports activities. So I'd encourage you, as an aside here, to think about events, documentations, displays, and other activities that you might be engaged in that look at some of those other drinks in addition to soda generally. We're talking about soda mainly because it has been a major contributor to the obesity epidemic as well as many other health problems in this country. Over the last 25, 30 years, the calories from sugary drinks have increased dramatically. Most Americans drink too much of them. They provide the single largest source of calories in the American diet and close to half of all added sugars in the American diet. Teenagers in particular, as well as minority groups, drink more than others. And they have been a principal element in the increase in calories that Americans have been consuming over the last 30 years. So it's important, despite the reductions in soda consumption over the last 10 years or so, consumption is still much too high and much higher than it's been in the last 3 decades. You may know that consumption of sugary drinks is the sole proven factor in obesity and weight gain. The consequences are widespread and devastating both for individuals as well as society. And today's healthcare costs are increased by about $150 billion due to obesity-related problems and loss of productivity. So I want to talk about what we would like to encourage you to do. On October 24th, there will be opportunities to have demonstrations, displays, to screen the video that will certainly be around by that time, as well as to engage in symbolic demonstration of dumping out or pouring out soda that could involve important and visible venues. It could involve a huge soda can or a soda bottle that you dump out. We ask that you use your creativity to use the opportunity to put a kibosh on the happiness factor and the normalcy factor of soda and other sugary drinks in our society. We will be providing information on our website with ideas. We'd also like for you to consider linking up with other organizations who are planning a pledge campaign for the week before Halloween, a pledge to reduce or eliminate soda consumption for a certain period of time. Many communities already are involved in that as well. One thing we would like for you to keep in mind is to use this opportunity to connect it to the need for policy changes in your communities. And those policy changes could be anything from removing vending machines from public buildings, removing sodas from cafeterias in public buildings and in museums and other places that might attract a lot of young people. Could involve, as New York City has done, efforts to reduce the portion sizes of sodas that are available in food service establishments. Could involve getting rid of sodas in parks, but we encourage you to use this, a lot of drama in dumping one out, to link to the need and opportunity to change local policies and further reduce the availability and the happiness quotient of soda. So with that, I will, if I'm allowed to, Catherine, open it to questions, but also let you see the resources that we have currently available, and we encourage you to look at that regularly and stay in touch with us and contact us for both information and opportunities to link with other groups to have a successful Food Day effort related to soda in October. Thank you.
Thank you so much, George. And now we'll move over to Claire from Share Our Strength.
Great. Well, I hope everyone's having a great day. And thank you, Catherine and Lilia, for having me today. I'm here from Share Our Strength to talk about a great, easy-to-use tool that you can use during Food Day or before or after Food Day to really help families in your community learn how to shop well on a budget. So here's a little bit of background of Share Our Strength. Share Our Strength's No Kid Hungry campaign is working to end childhood hunger in the U.S. by pairing access to food with education about food. We work with, it's a multi-sector movement that engages public officials, companies, and local organizations, as well as concerned citizens in their communities, to stand up, come together, and share their strengths in the national fight against hunger. So we're ensuring that kids have consistent access to healthy foods by connecting them and their caregivers to federal food and nutrition programs like school breakfasts and SNAP. And we're helping their parents and caregivers understand how to make the most of those food skills by teaching them practical food skills like cooking and shopping on a budget for healthy foods. Our Cooking Matters program is how we're reaching families across the country, and here's a quick snapshot of our 33 lead partners in 28 states, including D.C., across the country. And we work with these organizations at the local level to connect with their communities to help them learn how to cook nutritious and healthy foods on a budget. And so I encourage you to visit our website, cookingmatters.org, to find this map, because as we talk about Shopping Matters, you may find that you have a lead partner in your community that may be a great tool while you're organizing events, whether it's a Shopping Matters tour or a Cooking Matters demo, or whether you'd like just to get connected in your community. All right. So we're not currently everywhere in the country, as you can see by this map. And so building on our success of teaching families how to cook and eat healthy on budgets since 1993, we developed a new line of tools to help more families at risk of hunger learn some of these skills, and to also support the work of community organizers and leaders, as well as organizations, do the great work that they're already doing. And so I'm here to talk to you today about our new tool called Shopping Matters. So why does shopping matter for Food Day? We believe that to eat well, you need to learn how to shop well. And in January, we developed a report called It's Dinner Time that surveyed low-income families across the country to learn about their perceptions and habits around cooking and shopping for healthy foods. And we found that most low-income families that are planning meals and writing grocery lists and budgeting for food are making healthier meals more often than those who don't. And these are all skills that we teach in our tours. And so using the strengths of volunteers and local community leaders, we're able to help families learn some of these practical skills to apply in the grocery store to really make a difference in how they're eating and being able to spend their food resources, whether it's SNAP dollars or their own food budget. So Shopping Matters is an interactive, in-store guided tour that teaches families, the adults or the primary food shoppers, to make real changes to their food shopping habits by helping them learn practical food skills to make those healthy choices on a limited budget, because we all know it can be difficult at times. So we offer 2 curricula currently. We have Shopping Matters for Adults, which focuses on the primary food shopper and teaches basic nutrition and food shopping skills to help them make the most of their limited budget. And we have a Shopping Matters for WIC parents curricula as well, which helps families accessing the WIC food package learn how to maximize those resources. And those are currently offered in Spanish and in English. So on each Shopping Matters tour, we hope that participants learn 4 key food shopping skills: comparing unit prices to find the best bargain, identifying whole grains, identifying 3 ways to buy fruits and vegetables on a budget, like buying in season or making the best choice between fresh, frozen, or canned forms, and comparing food labels. I just want to point out that these Shopping Matters tours are really great and fun ways to engage your community, and that most everyone can lead a tour. So, in the past we've had chefs, nutritionists, even fitness and exercise instructors lead these tours. And so we've developed this curricula to really help you lead an effective and an impactful tour, whether you have a background professionally in nutrition or in culinary skills, or whether you are just really passionate about food, which I think we all are. Just one thing to point out, though, for the Shopping Matters for WIC Parents tour, we do recommend that that facilitator has a really deep understanding of the WIC food package in your state or community, just so that the participants can get the most out of their tour experience. And so whether that's you or not, Lilia mentioned that the National WIC Association is one of their national partners, and so reaching out to them to partner for Food Day to lead a Shopping Matters for WIC Parents tour could be a great step to offering that program to WIC families in your community. We also have some other resources that will help you lead the tour in addition to our facilitator guide, including video trainings, template press releases, and recruitment flyers that you can personalize for your tour. So just to go through some resources and next steps, and hopefully I can take a few questions. The first step is really to sign up, and this is to help you get connected to a Shopping Matters coordinator if there is one in your state, or to help you get started with an online video training, and also to help you get connected to the free materials to lead your tour. So if you visit shoppingmatters.org, you'll scroll to the bottom where it says how to sign up and select whether or not you will be facilitating a Shopping Matters tour by clicking here. Or if you think this is a great program, but you may not be the best person to organize and run it, there are some materials that you can find on the second option that you can share with organizations in your community. So once you sign up, you'll be receiving an email either from the national office or from a local Shopping Matters coordinator to help you take those next steps. So if you currently don't work with an organization that is serving low-income families to run these tours, here's a list of recommended places to start connecting with. They could be WIC clinics, they could be Head Start centers, schools that serve low-income families, housing programs, or SNAP education in your state, which could be called something else depending where you are. And these are just some guiding questions to help you understand if the agency would make a good partner. And these can all be found in the facilitator guide that you'll be able to download all of these kind of startup guidance when you sign up online. So these questions will be available for you through there as well. But asking, what nutrition education services do you currently offer? Do you have any staff members or volunteers that you could maybe work with to organize a tour? And then what resources may be available to increase participation and learning on the tour? So maybe they have a van or a Spanish translator to offer the tour in Spanish or to help participants get to the store as well. And this is just a great resource. The Why Hunger Resource Directory has a lot of great organizations there that are serving low-income families that may be in your community to connect with. And once again, the lead partner organizations who manage shopping matters in your state would be a great tool as you start planning your tour. So here's just a rough timeline for what it takes to organize a Shopping Matters tour. We recommend that you give yourself between 4 to 6 weeks if this is your first tour. And a big chunk of that is the ordering materials section. So when you sign up, we'll send you free facilitator materials for the tour facilitators, as well as participant materials, which include a reusable grocery bag, a calculator so that participants can practice comparing unit prices, a manual that they get to take home with some practice comparing unit price questions, as well as recipes and tips for buying vegetables and fruits on a budget. And we'll also be sending you surveys and tour reporting forms. So just so that you have enough time to plan ahead and get ready for your Food Day Shopping Matters tour, you might want to start 4 to 6 weeks out. And this timeline, once again, is outlined in your facilitator guide. So just to recap our mutual commitment to each other, Share a Strength will be providing free materials and resources, including training and support, as you plan and lead your tours. And we just ask that facilitators provide the completed participant surveys and the tour reporting forms back to us at Share a Strength within 1 week of completing the tour. And this is just so that we can keep improving our materials and improving our reach, and also being able to report back the success of the program to facilitators like yourselves. So if we have a few minutes now, Lily and Catherine, I'd be happy to take some questions. Or I don't know if you want to wait till the end.
Yeah, people on the call can feel free to type in questions or press the raise hand button to be unmuted. We can take 1 minute here, and then we'll have another Q&A session after we hear from some of our organizers, local organizers. It doesn't look like there are any questions right now, so okay. We'll hold off on that.
Yeah. Well, I'll just put, oh, no problem. Here's my email address, too. If something strikes you later after this webinar, feel free to reach out to me, and I will help you get started on the right path. So thank you. I'm looking forward to a fun food day.
Great. Thank you so much, Claire. We will definitely take questions from people towards the end if they have them, and pass along your email address. And if it's all right with you and George, we'll maybe share your slides from the presentation on our website.
Yeah.
So we'll be recording this call, and we'll be able to share it on foodday.org afterwards. So at this point, I think we'll turn it over to Maureen McNamara from Boulder. And Maureen, if you're able to show your screen now, you can try doing that.
Can everyone see the PowerPoint?
Yep, we see it.
Okay.
You might have to speak up a little bit, though.
How's this?
That sounds good.
So my name is Maureen, and I work for Boulder County Public Health in Boulder. And we worked with Lilia last year. We found out about Food Day probably about this time last year. And instead of trying to organize a big event, what we decided to do was do an Eat Local challenge. So we reached out to a number of community groups and potential partners And the big thing that we really accomplished last year was we created a website so that we were able to direct people to Boulder County specific information. And since it was pretty grassroots and there wasn't really one person that had a lot of time to spend on Food Day Boulder County, the website was a way to at least kind of get information out there and spread the word, and then also a way to direct people to county-specific things. And if you're not familiar with Boulder County, which is in Colorado, the main city is Boulder, and a lot of times events happen just in Boulder, and we wanted to reach out to all the various municipalities in the county and not just have it be an urban-focused event. So that's really why we decided to do an Eat Local challenge. And it also allowed all of the different community groups who may have different agendas and priorities and mission statements to still come together underneath the Food Day Boulder County and support whatever of the priorities were kind of spoke to them the most. And so we tried to get as many events registered as possible. In 2011, we had about between 20 and 30 total. And so what we, this is just a screenshot of our website. So we used a lot of the material goes back to the national site, but we did want to kind of have a landing page where we could highlight organizers and supporters in the county, and then we have a link to resources, and on the right side, this is still 2011, but we had the various events that were going on in Boulder County, so that you know, people in this area, they would be able to know what was going on. And this year, definitely, the mapping function is a lot better on the national site, so I don't think that it's, you know, that it's necessarily the same. We wouldn't necessarily have designed it the same way this year as we did last year, just because the national site has changed significantly. So the URL is fooddaybouldercounty.org, and so you know, definitely if you're interested in anything that we have set up, check it out. We started planning pretty early for 2012, and instead of doing an Eat Local challenge, we didn't want it to be anything negative or just focus just on local foods. We decided to do an Eat Real celebration, and we had great success reaching out to people who work with WIC and other community programs, and so we have a lot more interaction with food pantries this year. Senior centers have gotten involved, and in order to kind of try and focus our efforts a little bit more, we developed 5 main key areas, which are listed on the slide. And so schools, and then worksite, and social, we were looking at restaurants and then grocery stores, and then community groups, and then individual. In 2011, we worked a lot more on individual, kind of doing, getting the word out through our own social networks, and we did some tabling at a couple events. And so in 2012, we were trying to hit the communities and the groups that would be able to reach a broader sector of the population. And so we had kind of a key person ahead for each one of these committees to work with these groups and kind of use their own social networks and professional networks to spread the word. And so a couple of things that we did to organize in the county was we created a couple different resources. So one is like a one-page sheet similar to what Food Day has, and it's specific to Food Day Boulder County. And we made like generic information, and it was also customizable. So the school groups and the worksite groups and the community groups could change things so that it made sense for their specific populations, as opposed to just having really general information sheets that, you know, what a restaurant would do is totally different than what a worksite may do. And so we wanted to have it a little bit more specific to key areas. And then we also created an event registration so that if people were interested, we could get them to kind of commit to an event earlier on in the year instead of waiting until the last month before the event to try and finalize some of the event registrations, and that has been somewhat successful. It still is hard to get people, even if they're interested, to sometimes finalize details about events. But so far we have about 10 events planned for the county and a couple more in the works. So starting early was definitely helpful, but it probably still will be. We'll probably get a lot more of a push towards closer to the date. Other things that we really were trying to rely on, just because everyone who worked with Food Day Boulder County has 5 other jobs and other commitments, as we were trying to kind of have templates that then people could customize and send out. And then really encourage people to reach out to their professional and their social networks to spread the word. I work with the consumer protection side of public health, and so we have a lot of good relationships with restaurants and grocery stores. So that's kind of what I was focusing on, and then people who work with low-income populations and already have relationships with food pantries, they kind of took on some of those groups and possible events. And really what it often comes down to is if someone has a personal relationship with a group or a business, then they're a lot more likely to get them to be involved and to plan something or to host something or to attend something. So that was the main principle that we were trying to work off of, to maximize our resources in our limited time in order to still get events out there in the community, and something that wasn't just focused on one day or one city, but really have more of a broad-based approach and kind of create these ties and relationships that would hopefully continue beyond just October 24th. So there are definitely things that we continue to find out and work on, and the biggest one is just people's time is really limited. But we've definitely made some really good progress this year, and we're excited to continue to go and get events planned and drum up interest and support in this. So I don't know if there are any questions. I'd be happy to answer them. That was kind of a general, fast overview, but I'm happy to talk about anything more specific. And again, this was something that, having an Eat Real celebration was something that everyone, all different groups of people and how they relate to food could kind of fall under this umbrella. And so it worked out well for the various possible political differences or different agendas throughout organizations in the county. And so that's why I think it's kind of been a positive experience, even though all these agencies and organizations may not have come together in other situations.
Thank you so much, Maureen, and I think that's a really great model for other organizers. If it's all right with you, we might also want to share your slides. A couple people were wondering if they could see a copy of the presentation you gave.
Yes, of course, and I can also share some of the resources that we've created. Some of them are on the website, but some of them, the templates that we've created, we can share. And a lot of them are, somewhat similar to national things, and some we created before you guys, and some we created after you. So whatever overlap or anything, we're more than happy.
Wonderful. Yeah, we'll follow up with you afterwards. And so we're going to hear 2 more quick updates. One from Christine Smith, who's in Secaucus, New Jersey, and one from Kristen Keisel, who's with the Sacramento State University in California. And then we'll move on to questions. I know some folks had typed in questions for Claire, so we want to try to get to those as well. So thanks, Maureen, and we'll move on to Christine Smith. Christine, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm Christine Smith. I'm the coordinator for Secaucus, New Jersey. This is our first food day, and I'm planning along with Judy Kennelly. She's a board member for our Board of Health. Our event centers around our students. We're doing creative projects we have our superintendent has approved for the beginning of next year. The students will be doing creative projects, writing projects, art projects, all centered around eating well and staying active. And the winners are going to attend our event at our senior center. So we'll have the students, their art displays. We'll have their parents, their guardians. They're going to be given awards by our mayor. And they'll also have prizes donated by our local businesses. We're hoping to get some activity-related businesses as well as restaurant gift cards. We will also have our seniors. They're going to have senior winners from a senior bingo night, which will also have a healthy snack donated by Mascios Food Service, who is the school food service provider. We're also going to have activities during the day for the students. For younger kids, we'll have a tot kitchen and activity pages. We'll also have Meadowlands Hospital is coming to do blood pressure screenings, and also have some representatives to speak to the group. We also have Montclair State coming to do hip-to-weight ratios for seniors. We're going to have dinner donated by the local restaurants. They're submitting a healthy recipe to donate to our event, as well as a recipe for a recipe book that we'll sell as a fundraiser. We're going to have a video montage with some healthy commercials, the Food Day commercial, just for background for the parents to watch while the kids are doing their activities and so forth. We're also going to have a pledge wall for the students to just write, what they would like to do if they want to stay healthy, if they want to ban soda, if they want to, stay active and eat right. They can write it on the pledge wall, and I'm hoping to have that displayed at one of the schools. So that's pretty much the gist of what we're doing. Also, our mayor is going to do a Food Day proclamation during a council meeting in August, and we're looking into replacing some of the food choices in our vending machines with healthier options in the schools and the town buildings. So that's pretty much the gist of what we're doing here. So,
thank you. That's really helpful, and I love your examples of working with kids and students. So now I think we'll try to go over to Kristen, and then we will open up to some questions. So Kristen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this call. My name is Kristen Kiesel. I'm a faculty member at California State University in Sacramento. And together with Lynn Hanna, who is also a faculty member on campus, we organized Food Day on campus last year, and we are organizing Food Day this year again. I will try to keep it short because we heard a lot of these great events planned, and a lot of the things we are doing is similar, or some of the approaches we are using are similar. Maybe most similar to Marina from Boulder. So what we are doing is we are trying to use campus to serve our community. So focus on organizing events on campus, and I don't know if you see my screen, I put up all the events that we organized last year to give you an idea what we did on to try to connect the community and network, use all of the organizations, the nonprofit organization as well as governmental organizations, since we are in Sacramento, to work together and promote each other's events. On campus, we will have panel discussions, we will have movie screenings. We are hoping to showcase the farmers market that the Associated Student Organization successfully put on campus after the Food Day last year. We had a little cooking session with the preschoolers. We're trying to get high school students come to campus, and we're also going to have an information session with community partners. And done a little, we've tried to do a lot of outreach. One of the challenges for those that are on university campuses, and they might know, is to try to organize anything during summer because there are very different schedules of everybody on campus. So we are still very much in the planning phase, but have worked with the Department of Public Health and Education. We've worked with the California Food Literacy Center, the Food Council, the food banks, and so on. So one of the things I've done in terms of outreach is created a listserv with a lot of the contacts that we got from the National Food Day Office as well as from the California Food Day Office. And so through that listserv, we can distribute information. And I also started to have monthly calls. And the idea with those calls is just that I provide a call-in number, and everybody from all of these organizations can call in and just share events they are planning or ask questions in terms of information. And we all agreed, so one of the things that happened is we all agreed that, again, similar to Boulder, that we're going to use each other's networks to promote the events that all of the different organizations are putting on. And the big goal for me in Food Day is to strengthen the networking and outreach and use the Sac State campus not just as a venue but also kind of as a link to government organizations, to community organizations, and to individuals. And one last comment, one of the things that I really like is the enthusiasm that we have from our food service directors and dining service on campus. So we were able last year to work closely with them, and the vendors on campus promoted healthy and sustainable options, and we will do that this year again so that it comes full circle and not just talking about food but also showcasing some of the food. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. And now I think we'll go to some questions so we make sure we have time before the end of the hour, and then we'll go to some state updates. So Claire, there were a couple questions for you. One was, can you review again what participants can expect to receive during the tour? And can you only give tours after linking up with an agency?
Okay, those are great questions. So the first one, so every participant receives a free reusable grocery bag, a calculator that they can use to compare unit prices or to help them budget their food dollars, as well as a participant manual, which includes all of the skills that you will cover during a tour, including some recipes and handouts that they can use in the future. So that's, and that also includes surveys, which the facilitator will be distributing to the participants after the tour. And it's just a one-page short survey that just gathers some basic information from the participants and gauges what skills they feel confident about using in the future that are covered on the tour. And then the other question, no, you don't necessarily have to connect with a community organization to recruit participants. However, it does help. Some of the feedback we received from facilitators is that one of the biggest challenges to organizing and planning a tour is the recruiting of participants and ensuring that they attend the tour. And so, we've worked with farmers markets, and so they may just do recruitment of families at the farmers market, especially if there's if it's in an area where there are lots of low-income families using SNAP and WIC benefits at the farmers market, or you can just try to do some in-store recruitment. But it is helpful to have an organization who has worked with low-income families in the past to help you recruit participants, or at least maybe lead you into the right direction. But it's not a requirement, just a recommendation.
Okay, and a couple more questions. Do you find that stores are okay with the tours, or does it interrupt with business? And is there a cost to the program or curriculum shopping matters?
Okay, so I'll start with the easiest one. So no, all of our materials are free, so there's no cost associated with them. And we are committed to providing those free materials to you as long as we keep receiving the completed surveys back. And that's just to make sure that the materials are being utilized in the community. And then the second question is a little bit more complicated, but it's not really in the long run. So we recommend that you work with a grocery store or market or corner store where your participants are already shopping. And this is for a few reasons. One is that it helps make the tour relevant and impactful for the participants. And the other reason is that when you go to talk to grocery store managers or a corner store manager, you can explain to them that this tour will help their customers feel more confident using their food resources to buy healthy foods at their store. And so it's really an incentive for the stores to bring you in because you're going to be helping their shoppers become more confident in the long run. Of course, we always encourage you to meet with the store manager in person to explain the program, and then also make sure that you have a conversation with them, too, about what time is the best time for you to come in and do the tour. They may not want you to be there on a Saturday morning when a lot of people are doing their shopping, but they'll have some guidance around when they will feel like is a pretty calm time to have the tour, and that's good for them so that it doesn't interfere with their customers, but it's also good for your participants so that they can stay engaged and interactive and interact with the tour without too many distractions. But yeah, just get out there and talk to store managers or farmers market managers, and they'll really help you pick the best time and date to hold the tour there.
Great. And one more question. Someone asked, how long is the supermarket tour generally?
That's a great question. So we recommend that the tour is between 60 to 90 minutes. And one thing I didn't talk about, but one thing that we recommend is including a $10 challenge at the end of the tour. And this is just a way for participants to have another incentive to participate. So they'll actually receive a $10 gift card after the tour is over to practice buying healthy foods on a budget, on a $10 budget. So you can challenge them to buy one food item from each food group, like fruits, vegetables, grains, lean protein, and dairy. Or you may challenge them to plan a healthy, well-balanced meal for a family of 4 on $10. And this helps them put into practice the skills they might have just learned or have been refreshed in. And it also provides a low-risk environment for them to try new healthy foods that they might not be willing to try on their own food budget. I know personally I've seen so many participants get really excited about plain yogurt when they learn about how they can make their own yogurt parfaits or use it instead of mayonnaise or sour cream. So I've seen a lot of participants buy plain yogurt with their gift cards. So just to wrap that back in, so with that $10 challenge, you may want to give yourself 90 minutes for that.
Great. And we actually had a question for George Hacker, too. People were asking, are there any resources for the Pour One Out campaign that are already available or things coming up that they should look out for?
There are some background materials about the soda issue on our Life Sweeter website, fewersugary-drinks.org, but also we will be in connection with the video that's coming out probably early next month. We will be developing and posting Pour One Out materials that will not only help link different activities in different communities, but also provide a wide range of ideas for making a splash with that Pour One Out theme.
Great, thank you. And then we had another organizer. Oh, go ahead.
Let me add that please keep checking fewersugary-drinks.org for more information about that.
Okay, we will definitely share that website in the follow-up notes to this email for everyone who registered so that they can keep an eye out for new resources, including that video you mentioned. And Karima Samadi from Ohio mentioned that the extension does a very similar nutrition program to the Shopping Matters program, and she provided a website here that we can share with people as well. So just wanted to mention that as well. Let's see, does anyone else have questions that we can answer before we move on to very quick state updates from the rest of the Food Day team? You can either press the raise hand icon or type in a question. And it looks like Alex Dietrich from Missouri, did you have a question? Your hand was raised, so you're unmuted if you'd like to ask it. Alex, are you there? Alex Dietrich? Okay. Well, if you do have a question, you can type it in, or we'll come back to you later. So at this point, I think we'll move on to really quick state updates. And first, we're going to hear from Haley Galuli, who's the other project coordinator with the campaign.
Hi, everyone. This is Haley. I know we don't want to take up too much of your time, so I will just mention a couple highlights from a few of my states. First of all, Colorado held a statewide planning meeting on July 24th in Denver that was put on by the Colorado Department of Public Health and the Environment, Denver Botanic Gardens, and Denver Urban Gardens. And I know that Maureen McNamara from Boulder, who we heard from earlier, was just one person at that meeting. For anyone on the call who's from Colorado, I'm happy if you contact me, and we'll provide all of our contact information at the end of the call. I'm happy to provide you with meeting notes. But one point of note is that CDPHE, the State Health Department, has committed to supporting events across the state. So they're a great statewide resource. And the meeting focused primarily on Denver, but also on ideas for how unified actions could be created in Colorado. 2 more points. In Oregon, there are a couple of great events taking place at Portland State University. They've decided on a campus theme of food equity taking place across the food system. Their main event is going to be a panel discussion followed by a film on farm workers, and then a facilitated discussion afterward on October 23rd. For anyone who on the call who's with a university who's interested in some great best practices, I'd be happy to share more about this event. And also a pitch that Susan Nabrowski is Food Day Oregon statewide coordinator. She's a fantastic resource for anyone from Oregon on the call. I'd be happy to provide her contact information. And finally, wanted to mention that for everyone in and around Philadelphia on the call, I'll be doing an outreach trip there August 21st and 22nd, and would love to meet with folks on the call either individually or as part of a community meeting. So again, we'll include a note about that in the call follow-up, but definitely would love to meet with you.
Thanks, Haley. And this is Catherine Castleman again. I'll give a quick update on my states. I'm working mostly in the South Atlantic states, in the Deep South, and a little bit in the Midwest and Western states. So quickly, in Savannah, Georgia, we have another really exciting festival that's going to happen on the 24th. Renee Turan from WellFed is pulling together many stakeholders to have this 7,000 person or more festival, and he's willing to share his sample budget and materials from last year, so we'll be sharing those on our website as soon as he can clean those up, and we'll be happy to follow up with people about other sample materials from Renee. Cheryl Paul from Slow Food Golden Treasure Coast I don't think was able to join us today, but we were excited to see that her Food Day event was featured in the Slow Food USA newsletter. So that's a great example of using national, state, and local networks to try to get the word out about Food Day, especially if you have something planned already. Danielle McDuffie, I think, is on the call, but I just wanted to mention that Florida Organic Growers is also doing great work in Florida, trying to pull together many of the coordinators and publicize through their website. In North Carolina, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg County Schools, all 100 of them are using the curriculum for Food Day, so we were excited to learn that. The Mississippi Food Policy Council is considering a farm-to-institution theme for Food Day, so I'm following up with people there about possibly tying that into farm-to-table, farm-to-school events across the state that will happen on the week of the 24th. So now I'll turn it over to Avi Schlossberg, who's our project assistant.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Just a few updates here in New Jersey, kind of building off of momentum from last year, and there is an effort spearheaded by the Essex County 4-H, the United Way of Northern New Jersey, and the State Department of Health to get a food and health collaborative off the ground for a statewide food and health collaborative. They're in the process of getting a listserv going and getting in-person meetings. So if you're interested in being a part of that, certainly stay in touch. In Wisconsin, they're just getting going, but in Madison, the mayor's office is very interested in doing something citywide, and we are going to be doing a planning call for Madison and possibly Milwaukee, because there's a lot of great work going on there and some events connected with Growing Power at the end of next week, probably on Friday the 17th. So if you're in that area or in Wisconsin at all, please be in touch. And then in Ohio, similarly, Cleveland is kind of just getting going, but there's a lot of networking happening, and it's being spearheaded by the City of Cleveland Office of Sustainability and their network. So they're looking for citywide efforts, possibly in conjunction with the Natural History Museum. So there's some really good ideas. So if you're in Cleveland or Northwest Ohio, or Northeast Ohio rather, please be in touch.
All right, and now we'll hear from Connor Bell, who's one of the interns with the Food Day campaign.
Hi, everyone. I mostly work with southern states, and I saw that there were a fair number of you from Kentucky and Arkansas that registered for the webinar. In Kentucky, most of the action has been concentrated in Bowling Green with Michelle Howell organizing events. She has a lot of great things going, a local food expo, farm tours, farm-to-table dinner, and workshops on things like what not to eat and fair trade and working conditions. It would be great to get more people in Kentucky from Louisville and Frankfurt and other areas to network together and get some events going. In Little Rock, Bernadette Rhodes with the Arkansas Coalition on Obesity Prevention is working on a statewide Healthy Parks, Healthy People weekend. So if you would like to coordinate with her, please just let us know. In Tennessee, Megan Morton with Community Food Advocates is leading the way, but it would be great to branch out and get more events going in Memphis and other cities as well. Church Health Center in Memphis has some great events being planned, like a healthy cooking class, canning class, and documentary film screening of Fresh. And in Oklahoma, Oklahoma State University, led by Melody Denny, has a lot of great events, an Earth Dinner, film screening and discussion panel, cooking classes, food stories, and the Tulsa Savage Art Gallery is really getting creative with artwork about food from local schools, as well as composting class and healthy cooking demos. So there are a lot of great things going on, just trying to bring more groups and individuals into the fold to get involved. So let us know if you'd like to participate.
Yes, and we wanted to mention that the list of coordinators for each state and area is on our website at foodday.org under the Get Involved tab, and then Find Coordinators. So if you're looking to plug in with someone in your area, please check out that list. We try to update it very regularly with the emails for everyone who has signed up to be a coordinator. If you don't have a coordinator in your area, consider signing up to be one yourself and to help bring together groups and coalitions for Food Day. We have a couple of other questions maybe we can get to. If Claire is still on the call, someone asked who provides the $10 gift card?
That's a good question. So if you partner with an organization who may have some extra funds for that, they can provide that. But I always recommend connecting with the grocery store or wherever you choose to host the tour and asking if they would be willing to donate the gift cards. especially if you're doing this around Food Day, it could be a way for them to get involved too. And then many farmers markets are doing programs to double up WIC and SNAP benefits at farmers markets. So that's kind of an easy built-in $10 challenge that you can do as well. But you know, the $10 the $10 comes from organizations who may want to support that program or that part of the tour, or you know, from the grocery store themselves.
Okay, and a question for George. Hannah Smith is wondering, diet drinks seem to be okay for the project when many studies have shown that diet sodas are also linked closely to obesity. Can you address that question?
Well, some studies do show some link of diet sodas to obesity, but they're not nearly as clearly linked and as demonstrably linked to obesity as sugary drinks are. So this campaign right now is about sugary drinks. Of course, we're not promoting diet drinks as an alternative. We'd rather promote water and seltzer and unsweetened teas and other beverages rather than diet drinks. But because of the close association of sugary drinks and obesity, diabetes, and many other harms, we're focusing on that right now and not on diet sodas.
Got it, thanks. And someone was wondering if you can share any information about the content of the video for next month, or whether that's all top secret.
I would be happy to share a little bit of information. It will be about 3.5 to 4 minutes, at least that's the version that I have seen most recently. It will feature a terrific soundtrack by a well-known musician composer, whom I will not name, but that will be a stunning element of it. It will be funny, heartwarming, provocative, and will, I think, set the tone for a lot of creative activities all around the country and perhaps even around the world. And we hope that people will join us in making that video as viral as possible, because we think it could possibly be a real game changer on this issue.
Thank you. Yes, that was very intriguing. I'm sure everyone's interested to see what will happen next month. So Sue Balcom was wondering, will we be notified when this comes out? And we'd be happy to share that information on our website and let people know about it. We'll probably be working with the Life Sweeter team to let our Food Day people know about the video. So I think you'll find out in one way or another, yes.
Yes, we'll make this as public as possible.
Yeah. Okay, so we're running out of time, but we had one other question from Alex Dietrich in Missouri. Was wondering if related events, those not taking place on October 24th, can also be listed on the site. And we definitely encourage folks to look at events that are already happening in October and co-brand them with the campaign. So we hope that you will consider doing that. And yes, the events don't have to take place right on the 24th of October. Okay, well, with that, if there are no more last-minute questions, I think we'll wrap up the call. We'll be sending out a follow-up email to everyone who registered for the call, and we hope you'll share the slides and the recording with other people who may have missed it. And hopefully, if you have any other questions, please feel free to email us at foodday@cspinet.org. Check out foodday.org for all of our resources and to get involved and find coordinators, and register your events. If you've already started to plan something, you can always put up a placeholder and edit it later. So it helps us to know what's going on around the country, and we can publicize and promote it as we go along. So we really encourage you to go ahead and register events if you have something in mind planned for your area, and thank you for those of you who already have. So thanks to everyone who joined the call, and we will be sending up the follow-up email within the next couple of days. So thank you all for joining. And thanks to our panelists. We appreciate Claire and George very much. Thanks. And the other organizers who spoke on the call.